strength comes in many forms, the strength of the mind, strength of the body. We want to go ahead and let go of that strength and focus on balance, because balance is what will allow us to be in life eternally. Strength can get us through a moment, but it can never get us through an eternity. So we're going to go ahead and look at posture, and what I want to do is I want to just show you what good posture looks like, because posture is literally the way your physical body is dealing with gravity anytime you're in a standing or at a waist up seated position. So we are always affected by the force of gravity, and we always see gravity as something that's pulling us down and holding us down, and for that reason we feel like we need to resist gravity, and we can be tired from standing or sitting in the proper position because we are resisting gravity. What I have found is that if we practice balance, and we practice balancing with proper stretching and strengthening to achieve a place of balance within our structural system, we can literally reduce, if not eliminate, many of the effects of gravity. And what I have found, strictly from a chiropractic point of view, is that many of the degenerative diseases of the body on a physical level are caused by postural imbalance. That when we don't stand in the proper alignment or sit in the proper alignment, it creates an uneven stress on the body at a certain stress point, and that stress point will wear out, either through degenerative disc disease, arthritic bone spurring. The body will literally lay down bone to try and stabilize an area that is under undue stress over a prolonged period of time. So it's a very common sense way to look at so many of our physical issues that we deal with musculoskeletal wise, is we just need to start with basic posture. Start with beginning just to look at ourselves and how we stand and how we sit. And as the practice teaches us, practice. Practice every moment, staying in the proper form and posture on a basic physical level, and you will see changes. You will see changes. So as I go through this, I'm going to show you literally the regular postural balance that you should have. And then what I want to do is I want to go through and I'm going to literally put myself in some postural imbalances, and I'm going to show you some of the symptoms you can have from them, and you'll be able to relate to some of those symptoms of postural imbalance, but at the same time you'll become awakened and aware and know that as you stand in balance, okay, these pain or stress symptoms, to the extent that they are based in your posture, will resolve and go away. So it's a wonderful practice that is so simple that it's overlooked. So what I want you to see is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stand facing to the side, and I want you to look at good balance. When I'm standing in good balance, I'm just standing, my feet are about shoulder width apart, give or take. My shoulders, and let's start with the neck. My chin is gently tucked. As you can see, my ears, the whole of my ears, should be generally right over my shoulder. Okay? And my shoulders, as you go down from my shoulders, should be generally over the hips, which means my pelvis is gently neutralized. It's not tucked, it's just neutral. Neutral is a sign of balance. And then my hips are right over my knees, and my knees go right through the arch of my foot. Now we know that in many ways that arches are very strong. They support a lot of weight because they distribute the weight evenly. If you are on your toes, which is where most people are, which is a very fear-based stance, what's next, what's next, what's next, you're putting the weight through the balls of your feet, and you're going to start to get hammer toes, and you're going to start to have an incredible amount of stress in your calves, because those are the muscles that need to try and hold you back from that anxiety or fear, or in physical level, postural imbalance of being in the future. And of course, if we lean too far back, we lose our balance backwards. So how do we maintain this balance point? Well, the best way to show you how to maintain the balance point is to demonstrate how I learned how to do it. And it's important that you know that when I grew up through my life, I had a very, very poor posture. And later on, I found out that I really had a case of Scheuermann's disease, which is a scoliosis that goes this way. Mine went from front to back. So literally, I used to stand like this. And this is how I walked around. This was normal. So we all have our own new normal, as the practice teaches us, don't we? Where this just became normal. Can you all see the stress I was under in that all day long? There are natural curves in the back, but they go against each other. One goes this way, one goes this way, one goes this way. So they all neutralize each other, which means there should be a net effect of being in a balance point. When you're in the balance point, when your ears are over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, you will literally feel yourself feel like you're falling backwards, but really you're just neutral. And you will feel the weight going directly through your feet. You'll not feel the weight in your heels or your balls of your feet. It'll just distribute right through. And you'll literally be in a space of, relatively speaking, effortless posture. So ironically, when you are directly in balance, and you're used to being in balance, I am using very, very little active muscle contraction to hold myself in this space. Now, there's a resting tone in muscles that we need to develop so that this becomes effortless. But relatively speaking, I am not trying to stand straight. I am simply in alignment. I am not fighting alignment.